Hey, what is up, YouTube? This is your man Hypergon back again, trying something new. I know I promised all those top 10 videos, but it was a little bit more than I thought I could actually handle. I got to get a new computer, which couldn't handle all those videos, so I'm going with something a little simpler, not doing all those things that I said I would, just focusing on one, and that one is Yu-Gi-Oh! It's something I'm well enough versed in that I feel comfortable talking about, and going to start things off with the thing that most yugitubers are well known for, deck profiles. And as you can probably tell from the title of this video, the one I'm going to be doing is Dragunities. My personal favorite deck, and I've been using them ever since I got back into it in college. So, any further ado, let's go ahead and get started, shall we? The first one I run is the obvious 3 ducks, the center combo piece and his main help, the 3 Dragunity phalanx. For those of you who are just getting into it and or don't know how Dragunities work, it's basically you use ducks. When he's summoned, he can add 1 level 3 or lower dragon type Dragunity monster from the graveyard and equip it to him as an equip spell. Usual target you're going to get for that is phalanx, because he has the effect of, once per turn while he's in the spell or trap card zone, you can special summon him. Since he's the tuner and all Dragunity synchro monsters require a dragon tuner and a winged beast non-tuner, these two are the basic engine of the entire deck. But they're not the only ones that we run. I also run 1 copy of Legionnaire and 1 copy of Atlas. Legionnaire can be pretty good with phalanx for getting me a quick 5-star synchro, and Atlas is pretty good because he can summon out a Dragunity monster with his effect of when he is normal summoned, I can special summon 1 Dragunity monster from my hand and equip him to him. Legionnaire and Atlas also have a funny combo with themselves in that if you can get Legionnaire to have Atlas equipped to him, either through Legionnaire's effect of equipping him from the graveyard or Atlas's effect of equipping Legionnaire from the hand, you can then use Legionnaire's secondary effect, which says that you can pop 1 face-up monster your opponent controls by sending 1 equipped spell to the graveyard. Well, Atlas has the funny little effect that if he is sent from the spell and trap card zone to the graveyard while equipped to a monster, he pops 1 card. So you can do it for a little 2-card destruction. The only catch is you have to remember Atlas's effect is mandatory. So be very careful with that, because if you do that to pop 1 monster he has and you send Atlas and he has no other targets, you have to pop 1 of your own cards. Atlas is a merciless little dragon, but can be useful if used right. I also run 2 Dragunity Arma Mistletanes. He's pretty good with the deck just for getting out a lot of the rank 6 plays. Most common way you're going to use him is to summon out Phalanx, tribute him, or to special summon Arma Mistletoe, because Arma Mistletoe can be special summoned by tributing 1 Dragunity monster you control, and he has the same effect of Legionnaire and Ducks in that he can equip a level 3 or lower dragon type Dragunity monster from the graveyard to himself whenever he is normal or special summoned. With Legionnaire and Ducks, it's only normal summoned, so Arma Mistletoe is a little bit more diverse in that effect. That's it for my Dragunity lineup. For the rest of the monster lineup, I run the 2 Garuda the Wind Spirit. I know a lot of Dragunity players are kind of on and off with this guy, but I like him. I mean, he's good for either being a substitute Ducks or another special summon if I need to make an emergency rank 4 play. It doesn't happen often, but hey, you never know. Doesn't hurt. Never hurts. I also have 1 Blackwing Zephyros the Elite, because he is amazing with this deck, especially with the combos, or again, just to be a substitute Ducks or an emergency rank 4. I also have the usual Tempest and Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, because what you're going to need deck complete without them. I have 1 other monster. It's kind of a unique tech in this. I've never seen any other Dragunity player do this, but I run 3 Troop Dragons. That's right, you heard me. Troop Dragons. This card hasn't been seen since the GX era, and for a good reason. It's not exactly all that great. What he does is whenever he is destroyed, I believe it's in battle? No, just when it's destroyed and sent to the graveyard, I can special summon 1 other Troop Dragon from my deck. Now, I know that doesn't sound that great, but hear me out on this. This guy can make some of the easiest Trident Dragians you've ever seen. For example, let's say that it's your turn, and you bring out just a face-down Troop Dragon. They attack it, whatever, you get another Troop Dragon in defense mode. your turn rolls around. So what do? You summon Phalanx. Tribute Phalanx in order to get Armor Mistletoe. Sorry. Use Armor Mistletoe's effect to equip Phalanx and then special summon it. All of a sudden, you have 2 and 6 for 8, and then another 2 for the 10, and they're all dragons. That's everything you need to make a Trident Dragon right there, and that took you 2 turns. Nothing else, he's great stall fodder, and he also makes for an amazing Tempest target, just giving you that extra discard you need to search out either of these two. It's not what you would expect, but he's actually pretty good. I've been enjoying running him so far. But enough of that, on to the spell lineup. Obviously, since it's a Dragunity deck, you gotta run your 2 cards of Consonance, and as well as the 2 Dragon Shrines. Most Dragunity players tend to run anywhere between 2 or 3 of these. I'm opting more towards the side of 2, because as you saw, I only have 4 targets for those cards, so that's basically 1 for each. And I really don't even need that many with how most people do it, but I need to get these places as quickly as possible, just so I can get Phalanx in the graveyard somehow, some way. Without him in the graveyard, the plays don't happen. Of course, I also have the 1 Foolish Burial. I know I just said I'd prefer the Shrines at 2, but Foolish Burial is also good because it can get Zephyros into the graveyard, which Shrine can't because it can only target dragons. And I also run 2 Instant Fusions. These are good for getting out Mavelus. He's an older fusion monster that is also a level 4 winged beast. So again, it's basically another substitute ducks if I need it. Since there's no way to search out ducks, you gotta make do with what you can. For additional search power, I have Gold Sarcophagus. Just use that, banish Tempest, and search out any of the dragons in your deck. Except, of course, for Red as Darkest Metal, which you have to discard and do that, but you're never really going to be searching that anyway. For the rest of the 1-ofs, I have Soul Charge because Soul Charge, Dark Hole because I can't afford Raigekis, Book of Moon, and 2 MSTs, just for your basic spell trap destruction. That's it for the spell lineup, and finally, onto traps. Since this is a Dragunity deck, you gotta make sure the back row can't stop you, so 2 trap stuns. They work pretty decently, obviously not good first turn, but what trap card is. Stop those pesky monster effects, we got the 2 breakthrough skills, and since this deck has no defensive capabilities whatsoever, gotta run 2 Mirror Force. I know most people prefer to run D-Prison, but I prefer the Mass Destruction as opposed to just getting the 1, especially with like all these Pendulum decks now with like the Cleese. I get that they're just going to go to the extra deck, but if they've already Pendulum summoned that turn, that means that if I can do that, they'll be wide open for me to hopefully OTK them the following turn, so that's my logic on it. And then, of course, your 1-of Traps, Compulse, Bottomless, and Torrential. I don't run Warning because I'm cheap. That's it for the main deck. And now the part I'm sure most people are looking forward to, the extra deck. Always a little fun part. Since I'm running the 2 Instant Fusions, obviously, gotta have Mavelus. If it ever does hit the TCG, I'm probably going to replace one of them for an Elder God Nodin. If you guys don't know what he does, he is a level 4 fairy-type monster who has the effect of when he is summoned, he can special summon 1 level 4 lower monster from your graveyard. So, again, he's good for rank 4s. This is a little bit more diverse for what I have right now, but it can't hurt to have him, just later on. Of course, Dragunity decks are going to have your Holy Trinity of Vajrayanas and the 1 Guy Dirge. Pretty standard. You use Vajrayana for either Synchro Laddering, to just, once you go into him, get ducks, and then go 8, or use his effect, his lesser known effect of doubling his attack by sending 1 equip spell on him to the grave. A fun combo to do with this is similar to the one with Legionnaire, where you equip Atlas to him, and then send Atlas off to the graveyard so that you can double attack and pop a card. Again, not the most commonly used card in the world, but a quick 38 can be what you need to game. And Guy Dirge because, well, we need something to search out ducks since Ravine got banned. That was for you, Konami. And now your more standard synchros. You got the 1 Armades, just in case you can get him out with Legionnaire. Stardust Scrap Dragon, because you need your 8-star synchros. You don't actually go into these guys as often as you think, so I only really need the 2. I may start running more if it proves to be a problem, but for now they've been doing me pretty well. And the 1 Trident Dragon. Because, well, you heard what I said about Troop Dragon, this guy's fucking awesome. That's it for the synchros, if you can believe it. Now, on to the XCs. We have 1 Castel, 1 Queen Dragon Jin. These are just these are the only two rank 4s that I have, just because you're not going to be doing rank 4 plays often, but Castel is just good to have a Castel, and Queen Dragoon Jin is pretty decent just for getting back some of those higher level dragons you may have lost, like Armor Mistletoe or Guy Dirt or something like that, just in case you happen to need them. And then to round it off, I have Gauntlet Launcher, Atom, and M7. Just the more basic Xyz monsters that you're going to run for all the rank 6 plays you're going to be doing. But that's pretty much it. My first deck profile ever. Tell me if I did anything wrong or if I can make any improvements in the future. Hope you guys liked it. I'll try and do these fairly regularly. I have other decks too, so I'll probably do one for those decently soon. I'll probably try and make sure I have at least one deck profile for each of my decks for each format, so the new one coming up, I'll probably try and squeeze the other ones out pretty quickly. But until next time, this is Hypercon, signing out.